Hello drivers, I am very happy to give you an update overview and development progress of Open Driver 2, the next stage in community project within the Driver series. Still developed by the one and only Soapy, Open Driver 2 premises are 60 FPS, extended drive distance and support of Driver 1 cities. Indeed, the project can be seen as a platform driven by community content, allowing the addition of new cities in the same way than drivers indicate. As its core a lot of optimization and rendering magic we could never understand, but that will give us amazing results. It's Driver 2, but even better, the definitive edition of the spirit of the Driver PlayStation 1 games. Let's take a look at the current state of the project, since Soapy kindly allowed us to show gameplay, but remember that it is a pre-alpha, we are far from the ending product. Nonetheless, we can already appreciate the 60 frames per second, which double Driver 2 in this matter, and depending on your machine, you will keep this frame rate even by extending the driving distance to unbelievable values. At this stage, there isn't traffic cars, cop chases or even missions, but you can make a few vehicles spawn and explore the cities of Driver 2 by following the same installation instruction than for Driver 2. More than this, Driver 1 city support is already in Open Driver 2 and you can play in the cities from the PlayStation 1 version, a bit different than the PC version, which is a huge milestone because Soapy had to deal with different calculation and size of cars to harmonize the experience in Driver 1 and Driver 2 cities. So for the first time since there wasn't Driver 1, we can appreciate Driver 1 in-game with a huge driving distance, such as in San Francisco, where you can see far away when driving in the hills. For sure, the project has a lot of potential, but there is still a lot of work to do, since for the moment the engine does not have to handle AI and traffic cars, so we will have to see if Soapy can do magic once again and optimize Open Driver so it keeps a smooth frame rate when everything is implemented and running. If you want to support the project and Soapy, you can give money by following the link in the pinned comment. Do not hesitate to give feedback and share the project, even if, and I say it again, it is still a pre-alpha and far from being the final release. You can do the same with Driver 2. It's heartbreaking to see new videos uploaded on YouTube where people are playing the PlayStation 1 version, while Driver 2 is much better and easily accessible. Time for the tutorial part. Let me browse you through the installation process, and if you still need help, do not hesitate to ask in the comments. I am using the readme file provided by Soapy to tell you the instructions. First thing first, you need to download the Open Driver archive that is available on the Driver Discord in the Driver 2 channel pinned message. Extract it in the folder of your choice. You have the basis, but for now nothing can be loaded since Soapy is not providing the game files, but you will. In a similar manner than Driver 2, Open Driver do not contain any copyright files, so you need to provide the mandatory files by yourself with your own copy of Driver 1 and 2 on PlayStation 1 to fill the Driver and Driver 2 new folders from the Open Driver extraction. If you remember the installation process of Driver 2, you can extract the files from your CDs with a program such as Power ISO and then use GPSXDEC to convert the ISO to data required. The same goes for Open Driver. Once you have extracted the data, you need to copy the folders named Data Levels and Night Levels to the Driver 2 folder of Open Driver. If you want to play on Driver 1 cities, you must also extract the ISO from the CD, then the data, to put data and levels in the Driver folder of Open Driver. And now it is almost done, because there is one extra step to do compared to Driver 2 installation, converting the voice files from both games. Since you extracted the data at the previous step, you already have the required files located in the sound folder and called voice.blk for Driver 1 and voice2.blk for Driver 2. For this, you need Driver Sound tool, which is available on GitHub, whose link is in the description. Don't worry, that's the last things to do. So download Driver Sound tool and extract it in the sound folder of Driver 2 for convenience. Now press Shift and right click at the same time inside the folder and choose Open the PowerShell window. In it, type cmd and press Enter. Then drag Driver Sound tool .x and drop it inside the PowerShell window. Type -blk2 wav and then drag the voice2.blk file inside the PowerShell and press Enter. If done right, you will see the tool extracting the files and a new folder in the sound folder. You can do the same for Driver 1 sounds. After the extraction, you will get a lot of banked folders and simply put them in Voice 1 for Driver 1 and Voice 2 for Driver 2 inside the Open Driver folders. You may think that it is a lot of work, but remember that it is a pre-alpha version, which also extends to the installations process. Soapy is planning to develop a launcher when the project is more advanced, meaning that it will be very easy to install it at this point. Now you have everything needed for Open Driver to run properly. Double click on the X to launch the program. Now you just have to select the cities you want in the drop down menu in Levels, then go to Game and click on Begin Game, then Game Camera, and you can play the game. The commands are in the README, and if you want to change the city, click on Escape to get back to menu and repeat the steps. If you want to increase the drawing distance, you can do it using page up on your keyboard. If you have the info box displayed, you will see the drawing distance numbers increasing. This box also shows the FPS, which may be lower than 60 after changing the drawing distance. If you want to get the best drawing distance, you must go to Levels and click on Spool All Regions, which means that the whole level will be loaded, giving you an infinite drawing distance but also lower performances. You can now experiment the pre-alpha version of Open Driver and appreciate the potential that this project has. As said in the beginning, Open Driver will also allow people to mod easily the game based on Lua. At this stage, there were a few engine sounds replacements to become familiar with the tool. For example, member of the Redriver Club Burritoo used Driver 3 and Stuntman sounds effects that give a better audio quality to the car sounds compared to the original. But you can do more silly stuff, like replacing the damaged sound with the whole sound of Minecraft. Anyway, what do you think of the project? Tell me in the comments and I will react. You can also get exclusive emojis to react in the comments by joining the Redriver Club, such as my beloved Redriver producers, driverdimension.com, French Contact, Neuroscenes, Tenkon on YouTube, Paul Lanois and Emmett McLaughlin. Thanks for your support, and in any case, see you soon, drivers.